Hello and welcome to VOD of Consciousness with Sientir. I'm Sientir, and please go to patreon.com/Sientir to financially support me. This person has a rabbit here. I'm actually really surprised that I've been running into people in some of these like out-of-the-way outposts, like Frontier Gate right here, which has no great worth. Could be in hard mode, probably will be in hard mode for now. What we want to do this time is we want to get up to the Ruins of Surmia mission, but that's going to be a little bit of a ways away. So we're going to say hi to... Now, normally this guy would have a quest for us. Apparently he is a merchant, which is rather startling. I was not expecting that. But because we are not a native character, he does not. Oh, there's Mirak the Shouter. He's apparently has some sort of wander AI, so he just kind of moseys around this outpost. There's a well over there. It's probably... Oh, no, that's just a platform. He just says, "Repent, sinners, the prophecy is spoken. The time is near when you shall reap what you have sown. Repent." I believe he's speaking of the Flameseeker prophecies. I'm not really sure of all what he's talking about, but... Man, I just love some of these areas. But what we want to do is we want to make our way to like I said, to the Ruins of Surmia mission. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the quest to kind of guide and direct us, but on the plus side, we have this lovely little thing right here that says Ruins of Surmia left. So we will go ahead and follow that. Now, one of the things that it talks about is the Serenity Temple being down that way. Ruins of Surmia is not actually that far away. It looks like there's some double Eulidite. This is not what we want, not right off the bat. A bunch of Grawl here. Man, it's really cool to explore some of these zones again. I should do some vanquishing or something around in these areas. You can see there's continues to be signs. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the signs to the Ruins of Surmia, because it's not on our map. I don't remember exactly where it is, but I do remember it's along this way. Frontier Gate obviously is that direction. And we can see that there's a bunch of Grawl near the statue of Lissa for some reason. I don't know. Maybe at some point we'll just go into normal mode and just come into here and just kind of explore the area. That could be fun. There's a sign telling us where that gate is. We're going to avoid the giant gathering of Grawl at the statue of Lissa, because that looks deadly. And I would like to not fight there. Thank you very much. This I don't mind. Just want to keep this guy from doing much. And when he's down, everything's okay. Cool. Okay, not cool. It turns out something happened and a bunch more Grawl decided they were going to drop by and say hi. So, unfortunately, there's like a couple Eulidites here. And here's what my executive decision is. Rather than try to fight these hordes of enemies that are almost assuredly going to just destroy us, right up here we can see the sign for the Ruins of Surmia outpost. I'm going to pull to the side to try to avoid aggroing that group as much as I can, which seems to have been successful. And we're going to make our way over to the Ruins of Surmia. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is going to be kind of the first major mission that's going to see us visited by one Prince Rurik. Obviously, it wasn't very hard to get here. Captain McKinn says, "It was here that Prince Rurik rallied a force to push out beyond the wall in pursuit of the retreating Char forces. The Char's push into Ascalon had been devastating and had resulted in countless Ascalonians being taken prisoner, either to be roasted alive or put to work as slaves. The prince, refuting the commands of his father King Adalbern, refused to leave those prisoners in the hands of the Char and gathered troops to go beyond the borders of the wall to rescue them. If you choose to enter this mission, you'll see how Prince Rurik's mission to rescue the prisoners unfolded." So that's telling us kind of like what the things were in past tense. I think because we're a foreign character, they kind of handled it differently in this one than they did in some others. There's a Zaishan scout for stuff. There's the Great Northern Wall looking kind of south towards it from the north, so it's south of us. Pretty cool spot, really, if you ask me. Actually, over there is the Great Northern Wall mission itself. That's where Calhoun was. If you look at the map, you can see that. We're just north of the Great Northern Wall. And Bontfazbertfur was over that way. But that's the bridge that we were running across, the big lengthy one on our way back to get back to that area. So we've actually kind of looped around a little bit. It teleported us down to Fort Rannoch, which was way south, and then we made our way back north. And then this is going to be the Ruins of Surmia. So I don't remember all that happened here, but I know we rescue prisoners. So it's at this point that I kind of have to ask myself some fundamentally important questions, such as, do I want to continue with this build? Do I want to change up my party any? I do feel like a Mesmer would be very useful. Or at least some Mesmer skills. The question is, do I want to go that way? How much is my motivation keeping my party alive? That sort of thing. That certainly is helping. There's no way that it can't be. I'm going to take a moment here to do some build-related stuff. Cure Hex is definitely useful. Shield Absorption, Guardian. Shielding Hands is good, but the recharge on it is kind of lengthy. I think I actually want to... kind of want to go Protective Spirit. Yeah. I'm actually going to just remove Res Chant for Protective Spirit. It's a little risky, but I think it might be better in the long run. So if I went this direction, I would be able to bring Panic and Empathy, potentially. So what would I do? So I'm going to think a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit of buildcraft. I could keep this more or less the same. This would want to change. Probably to go for the eyes. I would drop Spear Swipe in favor of Stunning Strike. Blazing Spear is still fine. It combos with Stunning Strike, so that's kind of important, actually. And then I can go Domination Magic. And I can go with Empathy and Panic. Oh, no. Panic would... No, let's not bring Panic. I want Stunning Strike, that's right. Actually, Epidemic might be good with Stunning Strike. Okay, so the question is, would I want... do I have... If I have Wastrel's Worry, that can actually be startlingly potent. That does a little bit of additional damage at no energy cost to me. Chaos Storm is not great on a thing like this. I'm mostly in here for, like, empathy. I could throw in Cry of Frustration. That's not bad. Backfire could be really, really strong, actually. Maybe I should just go Backfire. This is weird. I rarely use Backfire. That 3-second cast time is forever. 2 seconds on Empathy is long, too. These are definitely geared towards a Mesmer using them, because fast casting lets them get cast more rapidly, as you might guess. It does mean that our party is a bit squishier, but... I don't know. I kind of want to try this and see how it goes. Yeah, I'll try this and see how it goes. It might be a terrible idea. It might be a good idea. And I guess time will tell. I don't know if Backfire is the right call here. The reason why I'm thinking Backfire could be good is because it basically wrecks a caster. The reason why I think it might be bad is it's kind of overlapping with what Stunning Strike's trying to do in the first place, and it's a lot of energy with an enormous cast time. Is Mirror of Disenchantment just better? Or Hexbreaker Uria? You know what? Let's bring Hexbreaker Uria because there's been a lot of hexes. This is just a weird bar, and I don't know if it's any good, but I kind of want to give it a try and see if it is. Although at this point, I think I just want Spear of Fury rather than the other one because I'm not actually using that much energy, I don't think. And this is like, gets me to Stunning Strike faster. Kind of makes me wish we had more sources of conditions. But I don't know. 3 seconds of burning is probably long enough. Whatever. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Let's enter the mission and see how it goes. Oh, actually, before we do that, I'm sell that. But let's look at what it says about Fort Rannoch. So it says, we next find our young Ascalonian hero in a desperate battle to push the invading Char back from the wall. Fighting their way behind enemy lines, our hero's party eventually reached Siege Master Lormar. Lornar, something like that. I think it's Lormar. It's just a lot of the very same character next to each other. Who needed help repairing the trebuchets. If made operable, these trebuchets could devastate the Char lines from behind. Together, they salvaged parts and repaired the first trebuchet and fired on the enemy. One careful shot took out an entire squad. Our hero fought deeper into Char-controlled territory to fire another trebuchet, finishing off the mighty warband and its leader, Kraze the Unforgiving. You might notice we didn't fight Kraze the Unforgiving. I believe it is one of the possible bosses that could spawn there, but it is randomized. The young hero's victory for Ascalon stoked fire within Prince Rurik, and he aroused his men with a fervent speech for Ascalon and the king. What you might notice here is, like, this part right up here is, like, what the entire, like, first episode of Fort Rannoch was about, and, like, this was the second episode, so it's not at all proportionate to how long things took. I do want to sell off this, because I don't know if I'm going to be picking up another one. And actually, looking at my inventory, it seems extremely prudent to me, because I have victory tokens in my bank, and I would like to continue to have victory tokens in my bank where they're not going to cause problems. Okay, so my death penalty, I don't know. I don't really want to bring... Okay, let's just see how this works without anything. Let's see how badly we get wrecked. Let's see how this goes. I have not done this in a long while. I forget what the bonus is. We're not going to potentially do all of the bonuses, by the way. So we need to safeguard Prince Rurik's life. So we might just lose the mission to Prince Rurik. He's well known for this. This is actually something that I've talked about a lot, or at least like I did an entire thing about this, but Prince Rurik is a really interesting character. He's meant to be super sympathetic. He loves his people, the Ascalonians. Like, you can see I put... Look at how much damage that guy is doing to himself because of empathy. It's just insane. Yeah. Like, empathy is being ridiculously strong here, so I'm really glad I brought it. Where was I? But yeah, Prince Rurik is a really interesting character. Like, he's supposed to be super sympathetic because he really cares about his people. He really cares about the Ascalonians. He really cares about what happens to them, and he wants them to survive, really. And so he's a very charismatic, courageous figure. He's a rallying point for the Ascalonians. But he has one big problem. His AI tends to cause him... Like, he's a warrior, so he goes into the front line. And he just tends to careen into battle and get himself killed. Which has unfortunately led to him being somewhat derided by the player base in general. So instead of being a heroic figure, due to the way his AI works, he's kind of hated and despised, which is really unfortunate because he's kind of a cool guy otherwise, from like a narrative standpoint. But from a mechanical standpoint, he's a liability and a danger. And it's an interesting case of how game mechanics need to really back up your narrative, and it's important to do what you can to make that possible. Also, I'm really liking empathy. It feels like it was worth making my bar weird just to be able to accommodate empathy. Sorry for the random stutters. It's something the game does every now and then. It always has. For me anyway. And I don't know why. It's not... Like, when you play it enough, you kind of just like, yeah, whatever, that's the thing the game does, but... I don't know if Hexbreaker is going to trigger, but one of the things about this... So it's whenever you use the next spell, you lose a hex. I do have spells on this bar, so that's something that I can actually do. Just as an aside. This first part just sees us fighting a lot of Devourers, apparently. Wow, I kind of almost... Oh, man. I kind of want to have Spiteful Spirit, if I'm going to be blunt here. That sounds amazing here. But that's not going to do what I want. Well, I mean, mostly killing the enemy is close enough to what I wanted that I guess it qualifies. Let's bring up these bars again. Okay, he doesn't have the energy to do much. Yep. Hexbreaker is just... It's one of those skills, though, that you don't use all the time, because you don't really need it all the time. But it causes them to deal less damage, which is also useful. What I'm saying is, I think that it's helping. But yeah, so I kind of... Oh, man. I love sort of this gorgeous desolateness. It's really interesting in its own sort of way. I don't know. Like, I'm glad that the entire game is not this, to be very clear. Like, this would kind of be depressing for the entire game. But I really like that some of the game is like this. Those guys get empathy on them. Plague Devourers just needed to go down. Oh, they're parasitic bonding the minions. That's funny. Okay, so far so good, but I mean, all we're doing is fighting Devourers, so it's really hard to determine anything about that one. I still brought Daze with me, though, because it's really, really, really useful. Okay. At the risk of sounding a bit redundant, I'm really liking empathy. It seems to be very, very effective. I do wish that we could see more of Ascalon in its heyday. I understand why we don't, but I think that'd be really cool. Okay, I want to back away from these carrion Devourers, because Skullcrack is no good. Ha! See, and then I can spread the days with Epidemic, which is why I brought it. To be able to AoE days. I don't know if that's any good or not, but it was an idea. It's an idea that I had, and I'm using it. It's kind of where we're at here, I suppose. Oh man, this makes Whiptails easier to deal with too. There's absolutely no reason to daze this guy, but it deals bunch of plus damage, so might as well do it. Cool. I wish I had more interesting or insightful commentary to give right now. I'm kind of like... It's really difficult to talk about anything other than gameplay or things going on in the game because the brain tends to get so absorbed with what's going on. That it's easy to vocalize what I'm thinking about with relating to the game, but like outside of that, it's difficult. So that tends to be what my commentary is, and if I don't have anything particularly interesting to say about the game... That Devourer looks weirdly big. Does it look weirdly big to anyone else? I don't know. I don't know why it would. It is, despite my air conditioner's best efforts, it is getting quite warm in here. I'm remembering this part of the mission, by the way. Just the endless stream of Devourers. I'm remembering it quite well. Turns out there's an awful lot of bleed from jagged minions, so that's actually being surprisingly effective. Also, Prince Rurik is not dying, which is good. I think we need to go up these stairs. And there should be more Devourer spawns here, yeah. And Whiptail over there. Let's just use this for some energy. It's not the most efficient form of energy, being what it is, but whatever. Empathy Paragon is certainly a strange build, though. Tell you what. Is this party members or allies? Each ally within earshot. A much higher crit chance. Okay, so that's oh. More Devourers. I'm not sure what I think about pop-up enemies like this. They're kind of like random encounters in other RPGs, I suppose. But they're a little obnoxious. But I don't know. Protective Spirit is a lot of energy, but it's also very, very strong damage reduction. And as you can see, it can greatly reduce damage. Man, like, Devourers are just not a big threat. These are really good for getting huge quantities of minions up, though. And hopefully we'll never have to. We shall return. That would be good. Prince Rurik starts speaking. His famous lines. He says, "As a boy, I spent much time in these lands. Look at them now." And this is where his AI goes crazy and he starts running off on his own and getting wrecked by Char. Like a freaking imbecile. This is the sort of thing that players hated him for. Because, like, what is he accomplishing by running off like that? I'm going to empathy another one of those guys, and... There we go. And now I should hopefully... That guy should stay dazed long enough. Oh my goodness, that is disgusting. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's 9-second daze. This thing, I think can help me keep somebody perma-dazed, which is ludicrous now that I think about it. Like, that's actually really strong. Oh, crap. You see what I'm talking about? Prince Rurik is getting himself killed on this group of Char while we're trying to clean up stuff. This is why people don't like Prince Rurik, because he does this. His AI here is super aggressive, and he runs off on his own and gets himself killed. And oh my goodness, I forgot how bad it was. Wow, it's bad. So we need to keep a really close eye on the prince, because he is going to try to get our party killed, because his AI has a path that he wants to go on, right? He's trying to lead our party. He says, instead of ponds and streams, we have pools of bubbling tar and rivers of sludge. This is why I brought... Oh my goodness. Friggin... Hexbreaker Ria, do your job. Yeah, okay. I got one of those hexes off. Man, this is the most awkward way of stripping hexes. Let me get the hexes off myself. Oh man, Epidemic is great for triggering Hexbreaker Aria too. All of those guys are... He says, it saddens me to see Ascalon in ruins. It saddens me too, Prince Rurik. Are you done running off like a friggin' crazy guy? Okay, thank you. Right there, that section right there that we just walked through, I think is some of the worst part for it. I guess we'll find out. But that sort of behavior, unfortunately, antagonized him with a lot of players. Because, as you can tell... Get out of there. Sorry, they were stupid and standing in fire. The AI does that sometimes. Thankfully, I have a really good spell that dazes things. Well, I mean, if you're just gonna auto... Ah, crap. Shield of Judgment. I'm not attacking you, Shield of Judgment. Thank you very much. Why would I do that? I'll hex him. Give him some empathy. Yep, still Shield of Judgment. How long does that thing last? Seriously. Okay, it's over now. Cool. I forget where the NPC to trade Charhards in for fur is. Very strong thing you can do. Hexbreaker Ria is on me, so the next time I cast a spell, that will be helpful. Theoretically. Guess these guys aren't much for casting. You get dazed. Okay, so those guys went down pretty easily, actually, which I'm happy about. This build is actually working surprisingly well. I want to wait a little bit for our good old friend, the Master of Whispers, to get some minions up. He have a... No, he doesn't. He should have something. He gave some people some runes, because why not? Char Shaman. What did Char Shaman do? Oh. Okay. Oh, this is... Why would they make a group like this? This is the worst. Okay, target this guy. This guy is not coated in awful. Really? All of them have friggin' Shield of Judgment? Man. This is why I thought about bringing Mirror of Disenchantment, incidentally. Yoy. Oh, that is so obnoxious. And he moved at just the right time to dodge my friggin'... this is why I wanted more conditions. Yeah, Charm Martyr I think of as their signature move being... I mean, that didn't do anything, but it made me feel better. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're down to just this guy. Just this one jerk. I was thinking about bringing Mirror of Disenchantment to be able to deal with that. I'm kind of, on the one hand, wishing I had, but on the other hand, kind of glad I didn't, because it would really only be useful for Shield of Judgment. But Shield of Judgment is so annoying. What is an enchantment that basically causes people that hit you with attacks to get knocked down and things. Take damage, holy damage to get knocked down. So it's really good against our minions. Our minions are just going to auto-attack and... Sorry, I discovered I had to move my idiot heroes out of fire. Get some days going on so it can stop wrecking our faces. I'm going down here to kill these guys because there's a greater than 50% chance that Rurik is going to come down here anyway. Realistically, I should have put that on that guy, but whatever. Decisions were made. Questionable decisions, but decisions were made nonetheless. Okay. I'm actually pretty glad I brought Hexbreaker Area. Just because there's so many hexes that are getting thrown around, having some way of removing them from our party that's not just Cure Hex spam from Talcora is useful. I don't know what Prince Rurik has on him. I feel like he would come down this way kind of on his own, you see. So I kind of tried to avoid that happening. I don't mind single char. They're kind of strewn out like this. It's kind of weird, though. Makes me suspicious. Why is he by himself? What's going on? Fortunately, those rangers are going to absolutely wreck themselves off of empathy. Although this guy has Shatter Hex, which is vaguely annoying. On the other hand, there's no monk to keep them alive, so whatever. They go down really easily. There's Sint the Maligned. At least that's how I'd pronounce that. This is where we start getting to the prison camps. So that thing up ahead, right up there, that's a prison works, or whatever you want to call it. Sure. Power blocked my Hexbreaker area, but because it's non-attributed, that's not a problem. Maybe that didn't go off the way I wanted it to. Whatever. Yeah, you can see the Ascalonian prisoners now that I can be close enough to... Okay, it looks like there's a couple of bosses throughout the area here. I want to get this off, because as you might have noticed, we're covered in hexes. Any moment you guys feel like giving this guy a condition, I'll daze him, but apparently he just died first. I mean, I accept this. Oh man, that is such a slow... Faint-heartedness decreases attack rate by 50%, basically, so that's, like, strong. Hey, so this is one of the things you get in hard mode, is you can get profession tomes like that. As you might notice, Prince Rurik has decided, these men can head back to the wall by themselves. I, on the other hand, am going to charge into this group of enemies with no regard for my own personal safety. This is, again, why players hate Prince Rurik. He is known for getting himself killed. Thankfully, they gave him defensive stance, but seriously... Oh, whatever. We'll just Hexbreaker area empathy, guys. That works. That gets rid of hexes. Getting rid of hexes is what I want to do. Thankfully, our giant army of minions causes lots of bleed. So Prince Rurik says, we must continue on and release the others. I agree. Let's take a moment to recover some of our energy. There's no time to lose. I don't remember if there's more along here that we need to do. I think there might be. I don't know. Yeah, there's more Ascalonian prisoners. Good. I was taking a moment to spread my lovely days around. I have faint-heartedness on me. That's what's going on. Strip a hex for myself. Okay, well, whatever. Gold smiting rod. How's my inventory? Inventory's fine. I'm probably going to use that tome at some point in time to get some random necromancer skill, but I don't know what yet. Okay, Prince Rurik, where are you? Okay, you are there in the midst of my party. I just want to make sure he's not running off to get himself killed again. As you might have guessed, we don't like it when he does that. This is very unfortunate for our survivability. Hexbreaker Area is not good energy management, but it's not energy management. Oh, I see. There's some healers around. Although we got him through that, so that's good. Let's grab this hide. I believe... How many more groups are there? Oh, friggin' shield of... You get an empathy. I think once we clear out this guard party... His men can head back to the wall by themselves. And Prince Rurik's gonna free them. Like the good prince he is. There another encampment down that... No, down that way. Oh my goodness, you can see the distance that we had to travel to get here. He says, follow me. Okay, crap. Where's follow me mean? Follow me means he's going that direction. Okay, thankfully, follow me also meant I'm going a few paces this way, and then I'm stopping, which is real good, because I didn't want him running off too terribly far. Also, I will point out that I know that this is a very long episode. We're going to get these prisoners up here, and then we'll probably cut the episode. And cut it there. See, I'm not sure who's a bigger priority, actually. Well, that boss is almost down. Of course it blocked that. And more devourers. They go down pretty quickly. Except for the whiptails with their lightning reflexes. Fortunately, everything's actually going pretty well, so I'm glad for that. Virulence, why? Set things on fire a lot, I guess. And remember to use empathy, because it's all the damage. Hey, battle axe. Gotten a couple of golds through here. That's exciting. Okay. Let's go ahead and free this group of prisoners. This one's a special group. Why we're going here and then we're ending.
Gods, how long have you been out here, man?
I don't know. Since my unit was taken at the end of the last Guild War, I think. Since the sky rained fire and destroyed Ascalon.
You've been here since the searing? That's over 2 years. Are there others?
Yes, the remnants of my unit. The Flaming Scepter mages.
Soldiers who have been slaves since the end of the war?
They're being held in the ruins of the old capital, Draskir.
Then we go to Draskir.
My lord, night is falling. If we don't head for the wall now, we may all be captured.
I understand the dangers. But Balthazar be damned if I allow those soldiers to remain slaves to the Char.
I can show you where they are being held.
Very good. We head north then, to Draskir.
We'll have to see if Prince Rurik runs off or not. If he runs off, then we're going to continue the episode until he stops running off. Okay, he's not running off. And hopefully it stays that way long enough for me to say, until next time, everyone. Whoops, he's running off. No, we can't let him run off. Okay. Okay, are you fine, Rurik? Are you fine, or are you going to run away? Okay. Until next time, when we follow Prince Rurik and free more people, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.